When the right people come together at the right moment, when they care almost as much about winning as they do about each other, they can become the best of the best.
Welcome to the best soccer show, the best soccer show in the whole world.
Here we go! It's the best soccer show. Jason Davis, Jared DuBois back in his usual seat for a live episode of your favorite American soccer live call-in podcast.
Back from the brink.
Is that what it is? It's a live American soccer call-in podcast? Is that a thing? Do we do a thing that doesn't even exist?
Show. It may be a lot easier.
But I mean, let's just say, like, is this the thing that doesn't really even, like, what is this concept that we have going on here?
You're about 12 years into this existential crisis. You should have had this conversation with yourself a long time ago.
It's funny because last show, which happened on Tuesday, when you were not here, when Sam Stokes from Yank Report stepped in and did a great job. Shout out to Sam. Afterwards, we did a bonus show for all the Patreon people, all the besties. And it was just me, Nikki Soup and Salad. Let me just get him in
the
here.
The Sausage King of Chicago.
Also, Morgan Tensa, our social media coordinator. That's one of the ones I lost. She coordinates.
You better be careful what you're about to say. Like, how much behind the curtain are you going to give people right now?
I mean, I don't know. So anyway,
you may have made bonus content a week ago that is now eternal.
I may have. I can go back and use that. Well, maybe I'll tell that story later. That's a behind-the-scenes thing. Anyway, on the bonus show, we were sort of talking about how the show started. We are now more than 10 years into the light. I mean, the show started more than 10 years ago. We didn't do it continually for 10 years. But it started like 11 years ago. And Nick was saying, like, you guys were doing things nobody else was doing. I didn't know. We just did a thing, right? We just made a show.
I just showed up. I mean, that's all I've ever done, to be honest with you. Like, there's always been other people that plug things in, push buttons, and figure out how to engineer things.
Yeah.
I just show up, say stupid stuff that comes to my mind, and it works sometimes.
I'm surprised. I don't know. Maybe you would have gotten there eventually. I was looking at the promo for the show tonight, like the social media stuff that went out to promote the show, and somebody did Major League Soccer. Is that a thing that we created? Did that come from somewhere else?
I saw that on the internet.
Okay, that's from somebody else on the internet. Damn, I'm disappointed. I thought that was us.
So we should probably give credit that we're not.
If the person who created Major League Soccer, which I'm guessing was like a Reddit thing, it's probably on Reddit somewhere. If you created Major League Soccer, then definitely tell us so we can give you proper credit. It does feel like Major League Soccer over there. 3-0 over Chelsea today, right?
It's a good day. Did you get to watch it, Nikki? Did you get to see
Nick's about to swap some Uniteds is what's going to happen, I think,
No,
right?
I'm not swapping, but I did enjoy watching Chelsea get their butt kicked today. So.
Okay. Of the two American rumors, the Pulisic and or Dest rumors that have been going around about going to Manchester United, which one is the one that you would want to see happen? Now, you got to have your choice here. Which player do you like better, or which one does your team need more?
No, that's a good question.
I would say Manchester United is definitely in need of a right back. They are also in need of attacking play. Like,
I don't see how that's possible.
They're also in need of everything else.
How do they spend $1 billion in the need of attacking play? How is that possible?
Well, we've only got an hour tonight, so we should probably move on.
Well, I mean, I think Dest's situation needs to move more. I mean, didn't even make the lineup squad today for Xavi. I mean,
and they've made it clear that he's not
twice.
in their plans.
He hasn't dressed twice now. He hasn't dressed, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he's got to get out, right? He definitely has to get out. And I mean, he doesn't. I keep hearing this like, oh, he doesn't want to go. Like what? Like how on earth can that be your attitude at this point? I don't want to get out of a club that won't pay me.
In Spain that he doesn't want to leave.
Well, no, I'm sure that they're telling him, look, we're trying to sell you. There's this whole financial situation. It's basically Enron over here, so we're gonna have to let you go. And he's like, no, I don't really want to. But as long as he's in flux, they're not dressing him. Which is weird.
By all means, does your junior desk go to Manchester United where they have a great ownership situation as well.
Well, they are more financially stable, as messed up as they are, right? They are more financially stable. And it's interesting because when you talk about the other guy you just mentioned, Jared, this one, that guy, they keep dressing him. He keeps playing just a little bit. Just a little bit he plays, and what's going to happen? He's going to keep being the third choice guy.
Jesse Marsh, you play a couple Americans, you might win a little.
It is pretty remarkable how quickly, and we did inaugurate this on the show when you weren't here last week, despite the fact this is your idea.
Hey, Ron.
Brenden Aaronson, I mean, look, it's the third game of the season. Maybe he'll hit the wall at some point, right? He probably will. Is this a little bit like going from college soccer to pro soccer when they talk about like 3/4 of the way through the season, college kids, they hit a wall because their seasons are so much shorter in college? Brenden Aaronson's he played a long season at Salzburg, don't be wrong, but the intensity of game to game to game to game to game, which he did not get in Austria playing for the best team in the country by a mile, do you think it's going to catch up with him, or are we going to see this Brenden Aaronson every single week?
I think you see a version of this, Aaronson. I think this is his DNA. I think this is who he is. This is the way he plays. That's why Jesse Marsh wanted him. Now, what will change is at some point, teams won't be surprised by him. Like, a goalkeeper's not going to try to do a move in the box when he's pressuring them.
Oh, well, okay, so today's goal, obviously, making Mendy look stupid. Maybe that doesn't, it's not going to happen every week. Maybe it doesn't happen again all season. And maybe you're right. But keepers get pressed all the time, and we see this often with guys like Zach Steffen. They think they can deke a guy. They think they can, they can chop a guy, and they're going to get the ball away, or they're going to make a perfect pass, line-cutting pass to midfield, and spring their team for an attack. They all want to be that guy now, right? They all want to be.
Yeah, like I said, we'll have to see how teams choose to game plan for this, because people will say, "Oh, they pressed with Bielsa," but that was man-to-man. It was different. It's a different style of press that Bielsa was doing. So
the man-marking situation, right?
Yeah, the man-marking stuff. So, and the press is a part of the modern game right now. Anyway, now. Jesse Marsh,
like that, it's not.
Jesse Marsh and Red Bull, their system, have a tendency to do it on Red Bull. They're that pressing style with a lot of energy behind it. And Jesse Marsh is probably the highest level of that.
It's a little bit more. Don't you kind of wish Four Loko had bought all the soccer clubs instead of Red Bull? Because I feel
for
like
a lot of different reasons. The jerseys would be awesome.
I feel like it's more like Four Loko old recipe Four Loko soccer than it is Red Bull. Red Bull, I drink a Red Bull. I don't know if I get wings. I'm like, yeah, I get.
No, every time your formation is 4-4 Loco.
Okay. I don't know. That's
the most impressive thing about watching Jesse Marsh's first 3 games with the players he's now picked is that it's very obvious that he has picked players that will play the style of game that he wants to play. It's like, let's take for example, no true striker. I mean, there's no true striker that
not today.
Bamford is not available in the
Bamford's
lineup.
made of paper mache, so no, there is no true striker.
not really there yet.
No.
Their style almost doesn't need it though. With the way that they play, because they want to pass quickly, going forward constantly, and just incisive passes. You could release anyone. It doesn't have to be that back to goal kind of presence.
But this came up in the Slack a little bit today when we were watching the game as a community, Jared. They don't. So there is actually a possession element to Marsh's game. He wants the ball. They want to build out of the back. Now, maybe they'll try to play quickly. They'll try to advance the ball. But I think that when they have the opportunity to gain possession at the back, they're more methodical than you think they are. Where they are crazy and for loco is if they turn the ball over, they counterpress immediately. If Chelsea's trying to bring the ball out, they'll press with 3 or 4 players like crazy, and then if they turn the ball over in the attacking third, that's when they go. That's when they go hard, fast. That's not mess around time. But I think you could see and I think Brenden Aaronson, for as much as his game is built on energy and effort and run and be crazy and all that stuff, the kid's got a bag of tricks. Like you saw a couple of real nice turns. He uses those.
First steps, fantastic. First
Yeah,
step, separation speed, turning. I mean, he drew an early yellow card on Koulibaly, which ended up being a red card later on in the game with the second yellow. But I think for me, the better American was Tyler Adams. Tyler Adams, man of the match for me. I mean, he was everywhere. He was closing down.
How much do you think it matters? So, I mean, obviously, I'm kind of transitioning, or I'm kind of thinking about the U.S. men's national team. But how much do you think it matters? And Berhalter has messed with his shape a little bit in midfield. But how much do you think it matters that he has that he has Mark Roca right there with him? That there's two guys doing that work.
Yeah, it's nice. It's a nice luxury. I think it lets Tyler Adams be more assertive. I think you're seeing him press pretty high up. He's not just pressing like at the top of the back third or the beginning of the middle third. He's pressing all the way up to the top edge of the middle third.
He's even in possession. He's even popping up in the final third, which I'm surprised.
He was passing a lot more. He was a lot more involved in the passing movements than I thought he would be. And it's kind of interesting. Jesse Marsh talked about in an interview, I think in the last week, about him having a very tough conversation with Tyler Adams before bringing him over about, I need that leader. I need that guy that I saw in New York. I need that guy that wants to be the guy on the field, not the guy that's going to that I saw at Red Bull. It's Leipzig while I was there. That was like a shadow of himself and wasn't confident. He goes, I want you to be like. So it was really, really interesting to see that Tyler Adams looks like a little bit different of an animal in the lead structure than he does with the U.S. national team.
I think that's the thing. I think it matters a lot. And you don't want it to, because very rarely do guys find themselves in a perfect situation. But there's so many examples in soccer. I keep having conversations with people who say, think about Mo Salah at Chelsea. Think about Kevin De Bruyne at Chelsea. Like, these players, they were not in a good situation. Chelsea is just getting picked on a little bit there. But there are lots of cases where players ended up in places where they were incredibly talented, where if they had been given the right kind of support or they were in an environment that really played to their strengths, they might have been superstars. But instead, they kind of struggled. And then it took a different situation and a different team and a different coach, a manager who really did give them trust and believed in them in order for them to reach their full potential. And I don't know that's Tyler Adams exactly yet. It's still 3 games into the Premier League season after this move. But don't you think it matters a ton that he's in where he knows Jesse Marsh believes in him 100%, no questions asked? It doesn't mean he can slack off. It's the Premier League. Jesse can't afford to have a player who's not delivering. But if Tyler Adams thinks Jesse's got my back, he can just go ball out. He doesn't have to think.
Yeah, I think what I'm nervous about is that at some point in the season, if the success keeps coming, at some point do they start believing their own hype? That's what I would worry about a little bit.
But that's getting way ahead of ourselves.
They're second place at the table after week 2.
I'm not the one who works on this show, and I am picking on her because she's not available to rebut this situation. But I'm not the one who said, hey, maybe Leeds has an outside chance at Europe in our personal rivalry.
Leicester has messed everything up for everybody. Everyone thinks anything's possible now. Damn Americans come in here and someone puts the word believe on the wall, and all of a sudden everyone thinks they can do things.
I realize Morgan is also homering it up over here with her Philadelphia Union guy and Brenden Aaronson, but she was like, yeah, they're a dark horse. Like, look, you beat Chelsea. As bad as Chelsea was today, you beat Chelsea, and things are possible.
Well, that's not part of the bigger conversation I want to have, though, because this game is a bit of an amalgamation of what's going on in the U.S. men's national team. And my question to you is, how many more games like this where Brenden Aaronson is balling out and starting, and Pulisic's only getting 10, 20 minutes a game before is Pulisic's job in jeopardy with Brenden Aaronson? Why is it
Pulisic that has to give way to Aaronson? Because Tim Weah is hurt right now. I'm not saying he can't come back and hit a run of form, but is Tim Weah automatically in the starting lineup if he's healthy?
No, but you also remember, Gio Reyna coming back in. He got minutes this weekend as well. I'm thinking Gio and Weah is one conversation. I'm thinking Pulisic and Aaronson is another.
So hold on.
That's a bit convenient for me, but that's why I think of it.
We went through qualifying with all the struggle in the early going, trying to figure things out. We play. I know that you have questioned his choices with the national team when he's on the field, which I can understand. But now suddenly, again, this idea that, hey, we've got a top-level attacking player in Christian Pulisic, probably the best attacking player the U.S. has ever produced. And we've got Tim Weah, who does things on the other side that unbalance teams and force them to leave space inside that can be exploited by other players, including Serginho Dest when he plays on that side, which is a luxury for the U.S. men's national team. Suddenly you're now like, you know what, let's just completely change the front line totally, because we still don't know center forward. That was Ricardo Pepi at one point. We've been through a couple guys. You're basically saying swap out all three of those. Brenden Aaronson, mystery man, probably Jordan Pefok. We'll get to that, or somebody else. And now Gio Reyna, who wasn't a factor in World Cup quality. Suddenly you want to swap them all out?
Well, if Weah's going to be hurt, then you don't have a choice. That's,
I know. Well,
I'm not saying that, but I mean,
okay.
But here's the other thing. Everything we said about Brenden Aaronson today, where did he play?
He played centrally because, he played in a very advanced midfield role because Bamford was out and Rodrigo was playing.
Sure. So if that's going to be the case, then we're talking about the wrong player. Maybe it isn't Pulisic. Then you're talking about, is Musa going to take a back seat to Aaronson?
No, I don't think. But I don't. So
there's no other player other than Tyler Adams that's playing at the highest level for their club team.
Hold on, it's irresponsible to talk about those things without considering the opponents of the World Cup. True. I just think it's ridiculous. Now, look, against Wales, you may have more of the ball, although I think the counterattack is a little scary, right?
No, Aaronson plays against England. Aaronson plays against England.
Really? That's what
First
you
think? First of all, he's going to be comfortable with a lot of the players at that level. Secondly, you want to press England, right? You're not going to have the ball as much. Leeds won today with what, 40% of the possession, 45% of the possession? I think it was like 40%. They won today with 40% of the possession, 3-0. They don't need the ball to play this style. And then, so don't you think that the English players, when they see Aaronson buzzing around, that's going to be more fearful to them than Yunus Musa?
Not necessarily, because have you seen Yunus Musa, dribble 6 players in midfield and make a pass into the final third? I mean, if you have Christian Pulisic isolated, I'm saying what I'm saying is, okay, so why play the player they have a book on instead of the player they don't, who can also do different things? And again, these are just different approaches, different skill sets in the same area of the field, which I like that there are options there. I'd rather have that than two play. And by the way, none of this mentions Luca de la Torre, who I know isn't playing yet for Celta Vigo, which I think is a factor.
Field the game. Didn't he sub in yesterday?
He might have subbed in. I didn't get an update on Fatmob from that one. I got all my Leeds goals spoiled because I forgot to turn off my notifications like a rookie.
I could be wrong. I thought I read that wrong.
I saw he was in the team. I mean dressed, but I don't know if he played. So look. Okay, and here's the thing. We are now, because we are 90 whatever days away from the World Cup, this is a lot of swapping out guys that we kind of settled on as starters for guys who are in form right now, which I guess I get, but I don't think Berhalter's going to think that way. And I don't know. I mean, so let's see. Aaronson played a 10. There was a quote. There was a message here that I wanted to bring in that had me thinking about this. Okay, well, it's past now. Whatever, doesn't matter. Greg Berhalter is not going to just look at the guys that are playing well in their club teams and say, let's swap out 4 starters. I don't think that's going to happen, because I don't think you can just do that and expect them to play the same way or have a sense of one another the way that they did. I know it's not a lot of time together, but that's why it's even more important to have continuity at the international level, because you need guys that understand their roles. And if suddenly you're changing out 4 guys, you're asking everybody to try to, on the fly, learn.
You're going to have to. You're going to play 3 games in 8 days.
And you might change. You might make 1 or 2 or 3 changes, and again, you'll have time together to talk about those things. I mean, just saying, like, to do it now. Maybe it happens, but there's also a very good chance that Brenden Aaronson's form drops off in October, that Christian Pulisic finds a new team and starts scoring goals again.
Sure. But right now we can judge by what's happening now. And what's happening now is Pulisic's getting 15 minutes a game.
I just don't think we're inside the window to the point of talking about these
my
things
only
seriously.
question was, is Christian Pulisic a lock starter for the U.S. men's national team? Is he getting 15 minutes a game every game between now and the World Cup?
Yes. For me, he is. For me,
even though Aaronson's getting 90.
Because Pulisic gives you the 1v1 talent that Brenden Aaronson's a great player, but
he played behind Gallagher today.
Okay, this is what I was talking about, by the way. Gaming Rainbow says, why not Aaronson for Ferreira? Would you play Aaronson as a false 9?
That's changing too much. I mean, in a specific, when you're trying to achieve a specific goal in one game, baby, I don't think that's the U.S.'s move, though, like going forward. So right now Ferreira is, I think, again, everybody kind of has him in pencil there somewhere. Again, maybe depending on the opponent, how much you want to press, where you want him on the field. But we should, in addition to talking about Brenden Aaronson and Tyler Adams and Leeds' big victory today, and by the way, Ellen Road was rocking, right? Yeah. And let's also mention that Jesse Marsh, I don't have them. Jesse Marsh
went full American with the celebrations, which I absolutely appreciate. There was
because he did them in like faded jeans.
No, he just was. It was the full expression.
And after the game, there were so many fist pumps and chest bumps to himself. Like, my man was pumped.
Look, if I was managing a Premier League team that wasn't supposed to win a game, I would be like this. I would be like this. I would be pointing at the crowd. I would be double fisted. What would you be doing, right? You have to have a move. Well, you know what I'm saying. Not the Bruce one. Not this thing. I don't know what that is.
That one is really like disconcerting.
This
it's so low that he's like grinding up on something.
Is it like a thrust? There's no thrust there though. It's just
actually
it's
like an outward double fist movement from the hip. I don't know.
Like this one.
I don't know, man. Yeah, that's from Friends. Jesse Marsh is playing the role, man. Like, he's got to get the team on his side. And listen, you're 7 points. You should have been 9 points. This team should have been 9 points.
Should have kept that lead at Southampton for sure. Yes.
So why shouldn't he capitalize on this? The team's bought in. The guys are playing his style. You know, like at this point, he needs to do everything he can to capture and hold this moment. And I'll say this: the team led 2-0 last week, gave it away. They led 2-0 at the half this week. They put up a third goal and saw it through. That's a team that's learning from their mistakes and learning as they go. They're granted Chelsea's first top 6 team. Oh, there's a great picture from Nicky
Look at the form,
dude. The man spread.
Form.
Okay, if you guys don't watch on YouTube, you need to come back and see this.
Yeah,
this is what minute? 20-minute mark, 20 minute 50-second mark. That is a fantastic shot of Jesse's man region.
Somebody freeze framed this specifically so they could.
Okay, if
Nick
that
did the
seam,
work, by the way.
If that seam in the crotch was to go, what does he have on underneath there? What does Jesse Marsh have on underneath right there?
It's a box.
Is it tight or is it loose?
No, it's tight.
It's tight.
It's locking it in for sure.
He's not going commando.
Oh, absolutely. He's not crazy like Jared DuBois. He's not an insane person. No.
Okay.
No, seriously, it's psychotic behavior. I know you act like it's nothing, but it's psychotic behavior. Like people wear underwear. There's chafing issues. It's not
people
even about
that are amateurs.
It's
people that
chafing
dookie
issues
on their clothes, I guess. I don't know.
Are those jeans? Are we going with? Is that a jean?
It's
a denim
very
material?
faded denim. Yeah, it's a really like light.
You sure it's denim?
I saw it close a few times. I was checking it out.
Because I'm just saying, I'm completely off jeans. I'm done with jeans. I don't think I ever want to wear jeans again in the,
what do you wear?
The rest of my life. Just kind of like,
sweatpants?
But casual.
Give it up on life?
Casual cotton pants that aren't denim. I'm just talking about they're not.
What kind of casual cotton pants are there that aren't denim?
The ones I buy are English Laundry. They're at Costco for like $20. I love them. They're just like
You're
very
sweatpants, dude. You work.
They're
from
not
home.
sweatpants. They're not even stretch jeans. They're just like, they're like Dockers, but just a little bit classier. And the ones I'm wearing are gray. I'm wearing them right now.
You put the chub in them. Is it obvious?
But I'm not gonna thrust on camera the way that Jesse is.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
You
Here's the other
don't
part of
trust
this.
in your English Laundry. That's why.
They do keep
this guy's. My man's got the security of the Levi Strauss going on there.
I don't think that's Levi
There's
Strauss.
rivets involved in those.
I don't think that's Levi Strauss. By the way, those are like standard issue.
Those are Levi Strauss 514 Slims. I'm telling you right now.
Those are standard issue European manager shoes. Every European manager has a pair of those shoes. Every single one of them, right?
Yeah, but you know what every English manager doesn't have? That thrust right there. That pelvic thrust that he's rocking right there.
Jesse is definitely doing the fit manager move.
Careful. Someone invited the Americans to the party, and this is what's going to happen.
It's not a Big Sam situation. This is fitness. He's out there. Jesse runs. How much does Jesse run? A lot. He runs a lot.
I can see him doing a fair amount of fitness. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of hypocritical. You ask your team to do all that, and you ain't gonna do nothing.
Yeah, right. You got to do the Four Loco press as well. I don't know how you do that exactly, but you got to do it out there. All right. So, in addition to Aaronson and Adams getting it done in England, we got guys scoring goals now. Josh Sargent's getting it done in the championship, but he scored twice. I mean, did you see it coming?
I didn't see it because it's in the championship. I don't watch it.
Do you value goals in the championship?
I mean, yeah, sure. I mean, but then we end up in the same conversation we were having with Jordan Pefok last year in the Swiss League.
No.
Listen, you and I were guys that were saying Josh Sargent shouldn't go with Werder Bremen to the second Bundesliga. Now we're supposed to be like cheering for the fact he's in the championship.
I'm the guy who said don't go to Norwich. I don't know if I said anything about Werder Bremen, but don't go to Norwich and suffer in the Premier League. And Pookie's going to get all the starts, right? And he did. And now he's not there, and Sargent gets an opportunity, and he scores twice. And Dean Smith's been saying nice things about it. And he's got 3 already. And look, again, it's a dip in level. But you're also the guy who was sitting on this show saying the 3rd division in Germany, where you're scoring goals, should get you a look with the national team, right?
That's how sad our striker situation was. That
Okay,
striker,
so wait, hold on.
Striker had 13 more goals than Josh Sargent.
Okay. But you cannot discount the level. You cannot take that out of the equation.
All I'm saying is that there's an analysis here. Haji Wright's 1 goal, is it equal to Josh Sargent's 1 goal in the championship?
Josh Sargent's goals have more value in the championship than Haji Wright's in Turkey.
Haji Wright's was a penalty anyway, but still. Okay, now where does that compare to P-Fox goals in the Bundesliga?
P-Fox goals are worth more.
All I'm saying is that there's an algorithm here somewhere, and P-Fox having 20-some goals in the Swiss league, somehow that equates to X amount of goals in the championship. I don't know how many that is, but Josh Sargent having 3 goals is
not
cool.
Even, hold on,
but it doesn't mean he's back in the team.
Hold on, this is not just about the goals. It's about the players scoring the goals and how they play and how they fit. Now, I think Josh Sargent's a more complete forward and can do things Berhalter wants that right now Jordan Pefok's not equipped to do. But Jordan Pefok is hot. And I'm not going to say he should start necessarily against Wales or England, but he absolutely should be in the team for the U.S. at the World Cup.
For sure.
Yeah, no, he's for me right now. I mean, there were jokes
say,
flying all over the place.
when you don't run the Ferreira format, because obviously when Ferreira's in, they're trying to play different formation.
The Ferreira routine. Yeah, the algorithm with the routine. Yeah, you got to run the routine.
Yeah, when you're running Operation Ferreira, that's Jesus Ferreira is pretty much the only guy that's going to work in that. But for any other formation where you want a true striker, like a classical striker right now, Jordan Pefok has to be the number 1 guy.
Okay, so hold on. Man, I don't know, because I think
it's a better classic striker that we would put in there.
No, the other part, that there's nobody else to run the Ferreira routine. I think a confident, informed Josh Sargent is capable of getting pretty close.
Show me when he's done it.
Well,
the problem is we only have 2 games left for someone to prove they can do it. That's why I'm saying it's Ferreira's job. Josh Sargent is not going to unseat Jesus Ferreira in 2 games.
No, but you were just the person saying bench Christian Pulisic and Tim Weah for Giovanni Reyna.
That's not what I said. I said we should have a conversation about at what point do we have that conversation. That's all I said.
Okay,
I know you want to pour gas on me and light me on fire, but that's not what I said.
Okay, all right. I mean, there's some people who are the opinion that Josh Sargent can do the Ferreira here, and then we've got Sargent's a better version of Ferreira.
I think that Josh Sargent has run that position fantastically well at times while getting 0 goals. The front 3 has played very well with Josh Sargent involved at the U.S. men's national team level, but at the end of the day, the striker wasn't scoring. Look, and that's a problem.
I know. So if Josh starts, he's got 3 now. Is that right? Two this weekend, and then the 1. Yeah. So he's got 3. Okay. I don't think there's a magic number. I know you and I have talked about what if he's got 12? But I don't think there's a magic number for Josh Sargent. But Josh Sargent is going into October, and I think this is gonna get him an opportunity to be called up in September
for sure.
He's gonna be there, right? And we'll see how he does against Saudi Arabia and Japan. For whatever that's worth. If he is still scoring some goals into October, I'm not saying you bump Jesus Ferreira, but I'm saying you bring Josh Sargent.
That's not the guy. You bump Pepe. Pepe's job is
Pepe's not in this team. What are you talking about?
Do you really think that Greg Berhalter is thinking Ricardo Pepe has no role in this team right now?
Yes, absolutely. I don't think
you're getting more credit than I agree with you, but I don't know that Berhalter's ready to throw the guy that got him through qualifying away.
He did. He wasn't getting called up.
Big chunks of qualifying. He was the starting striker.
No, in September and October, by the time we got to February and March, he wasn't in the team anymore because he couldn't score goals. I know he just got to Germany, but he wasn't scoring. Okay, but he also still hasn't scored goals and still is. And you're talking about playing time. The guy's getting bench minutes for Augsburg and not scoring goals.
So you really think Ricardo Pepe won't have a spot on this team as of right now?
No.
Okay, so you're saying, Pefok, Ferreira, Sargent. You still have to bring one more.
Yes.
Who else are you bringing?
Bring Haji Wright. I don't know. Bring Brendan Vasquez and give him an opportunity for September. I don't know about the World Cup team yet. I don't know about that yet.
I mean, September will tell us a lot in that regard. We'll see if he even brings Pepe in. Maybe he wants.
Yeah, I mean, look,
Berhalter's not
I
beyond
like
bringing
Pepe.
Pepe in and giving him minutes just to see if he can break him out of it.
I don't think that's going to happen. But, I like Pepe. I think Pepe's going to be a very good player. I don't think Augsburg's the place for it, and I'm worried about that. But Jackie's saying 3 goals against the bottom 2 teams in qualifying. He scored against Honduras and Jamaica.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm saying, again, he had good moments, and we needed that at the time. But the guy's dropped off a cliff. I don't even know how you can mention him right
and
now.
more goals than Brenden Vasquez has this year at MLS.
What?
He scored more goals in MLS last year than Brenden Vasquez this year. So we're totally discounting
Well, over the
dude was
course
on,
of over the course of the entire season. Brenden Vasquez got some time left to get.
He's got some time yet.
If he scores 2 or 3 more, then he'll be.
But I'm just saying, I don't want to say
number.
that what Pepe's done in the last 6 months is all he's done to showcase to Berhalter he can do something. Now, granted, I think form is a big part of it. I agree with you. I think he's on the outside kind of looking in right now, but I don't think we should discount the fact that a year ago he was the top scorer in MLS.
I don't think you're giving Berhalter enough credit for changing his mind or adjusting to the situation, because he did call in players who were hot in the second half of qualifying or into 2022 when he had other guys in the first half, right? There were guys that got dropped, flat out dropped. Josh Sargent's one of the guys that got flat out dropped. He didn't come back. He never got an opportunity again. He's scoring goals now. He looks confident. And look, there are players in certain roles where maybe the form is less of an issue because they have a specific skill set and you can't replicate it. Look, if Tyler Adams suddenly stopped playing well and was getting substitute minutes at Leeds, he's going to be at the World Cup because there's only one Tyler Adams, right?
All right, rank your top 4 striker candidates right now.
Oh, my problem with this is I always forget somebody.
Forget about systems or anything.
I already forget somebody. Okay.
I'll go then if you want. I don't care.
Jesus Ferreira.
Number 1 for you.
Yes, still number 1 for me. Jesus
I've
Ferreira.
been Jordan Pefok number 1.
Jordan Pefok is number 2. I don't think I'm on the Brenden Vasquez to the World Cup train. So I think he might get a look in September somehow, but he's got no book. Like, there's no history on him. I guess Josh Sargent is 3.
Okay. And 4 would be?
Am I missing somebody?
Haji
is
Wright?
Haji Wright 4? Haji Wright's probably 4, right?
I mean, if you're gonna take Brenden Vasquez out of it and you're gonna take Pepe out of it, I think that's...
Pepe's not in. Vasquez not in. Yeah.
Jesse Zardes?
No.
I
know
Berhalter, not for me and you.
I know Berhalter, again, I know Berhalter got mentions, or Zardes got mentioned somewhere, I think when he was talking to the Football Americas guys, but it's just not.
I mean, you could color me someone that's extremely impressed by what Jordan Pefok's been doing at Union Berlin so far. I mean, the guy looks every bit a top Bundesliga striker in a short amount of time, short amount of games, but the guy couldn't really be doing more than what he's doing right now with that team.
No.
And he and Becker look fantastic together on that team.
And I was told, he scored goals in Switzerland, as you said. Union Berlin plays a way that is perfect for Jordan Pefok, which is why they went out and got the guy, right? They got him because he fits their system. Now, I'm not going to say that he's a system striker and he only works that way and he can't be effective for the U.S.
You still have to rock the walk.
No, what I'm saying is that the U.S. is going to have to adjust the way that they are attacking in order for Jordan Pefok to be the most effective for the United States.
They're in a 2-striker setup. But what I do like, and I said this on Twitter yesterday as I was watching the game, watching him play with Becker, and Becker's got so much pace, so much speed. It interests me very much to see Pefok play more with Timothy Weah, because Timothy Weah is a very similar style player as Becker, but I'm wondering what the balance in a 3-man front versus a 2-man front, what that does to Jordan Pefok,
right.
because that means everything's condensed a little bit more and all the players are closer together. Right now, they're busting out on counterattacks, the 2 of them up front, but it's incredibly. I mean, he scored with his head over the back. I mean, slotted a ball from 18 today. I mean, he's scoring every way imaginable you can, and he's got his team top 3 in the Bundesliga right now. I think Union Berlin.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they beat Leipzig, right? They beat a team that has ambition every single year at this point. Jordan
Timo Werner's back
Pifak,
with his old team. They still beat him.
listed as Sibachu, of course, still
I still
for
don't
some
get that.
reason.
Even
Or
on his
just,
Twitter, it says, call me Pifak still. And I still understand
yeah,
why
yeah.
that doesn't happen.
Yeah, I know. Jordan Siba chewing him up in the Bundes. Sorry, I had these puns on my Twitter. Should I bring them over or should I?
Not if they're like that.
No. Okay. Jordan P. Fucking hell, that's an amazing start to the season for Jordan P. No, I like that one better.
I don't.
That one's
disagree
got
with
some.
you.
That's got some. You put that on a T-shirt. I think that could work right now. No, you have to. I think. Okay, if the World Cup was today, you want to play. Let's play that game. If the World Cup was today, it is for me Ferreira, Pifak, Sargent, and then sort of X factor. Throw a Brenden Vasquez in there.
It's really going to be what Berhalter feels he's missing at that point. Because when you bring Sargent and Ferreira, you have two guys that can do some things very similarly. When you bring Pifak, you don't have a backup for Pifak, which might turn the trail more towards Haji Wright, a bigger body. You obviously don't have DK at your disposal. Brenden Vasquez isn't going to be the similar player to Pifak. The closest thing you're going to have for one right now is probably going to be Haji Wright.
And I know this comes up all the time in the fan base, and I get it. Like, I have the same thoughts. Can Giovanni Reina play as a false nine? Can Tim Weah be moved back centrally, which is where his
Sure, but those guys can be on the team anyway.
No, but what I'm saying is you don't need to take 4 in that case. If you have a guy who can rotate in and that spot, if you want to try Christian Pulisic as a false nine, which again it hasn't worked very well, I don't know. All right, we've been making Felix wait, so let's get Felix from Chicago on the air. Felix, you're on the Best Soccer Show. What's up?
Hey guys, hope you're both doing well. So a couple things. First one on what you're talking about the recent reaction or knee-jerk reaction to Brenden Aaronson and how well he's playing, right? Of course, I'm excited. I watched the game. He looked really good. I think I'm still not sure about him as a starter. I still see him as someone is like an impact player off the bench to press tired players.
I don't
in the
hate
second
that.
half. I'm talking about the national team.
Yeah, I don't hate that. It depends on the situation, but I don't hate that.
And I don't think there's anything wrong with that, right? I think that our roster is developed to the point where this idea of like these locked-in starters at every position for the next 10 years, like the way we used to talk, I think we're kind of past that. I feel like our roster is kind of developed past that, at least on the attacking side, right? I think it's a rare time where I feel like we're deeper at the attacking side than we are the defensive side. I mean, you guys are around my age. I remember a time when we could go 5-6 deep at center back, where we could go 10 deep in defensive midfielder. Goalkeepers, we were doing really well, and now things have flipped, right? Where I feel like we talk a lot about striker, but I really feel like the positions I'm still worried the most about is who's going to partner with Zimmerman and goalkeeper. That's kind of my biggest concerns to this still is, who's going to partner with Zimmerman and goalkeeper. The forward stuff, I think it's going to end up being who's going to really end up being the hottest. I'm talking very fluid, so I'm jumping into different topics. The forward stuff, whoever's the hottest, right, to a point. I'm still not as sold on Pifak, maybe as Jared or some other fans are. I think Pifak is playing in a system that's perfect for him. The way they play at Union Berlin, where Pifak just has to kind of make runs, that's going to kind of pull players away from Becker and just kind of and then just get in the box and just get at the end of things. That's not how we play. So it's not the same thing. He's not going to play in a two-striker setup with us. Now, if he gets put on late into a game where we're chasing a goal and you're putting him next to somebody, it might work. But as a sole number 9 for us, I don't think he'll look good.
I don't disagree with that.
At the same time, though, the things you just described about Pifak, those runs in the box and finishings like that, that's essentially what every striker is going to do no matter what system, though. Like, you still have to make runs. You still have to make finishes. Like, there's certain skill sets that he has that are translatable to any formation.
Right, but I think Berhalter typically asks his not play more in combination, right? And we're not necessarily talking hold up play, but we're talking about, in combination.
But but do we just assume that's the way Berhalter wants to play because he never has a number 9 that can actually do the other?
So there is something.
Is he just playing the best formation he can with the players that are available to him?
So Berhalter has leveraged the wide forwards, the wing players, because that's where the strength of the team is, right?
Yeah, because there's been no one that could score in the middle.
Right. I don't think you suddenly go and switch that up necessarily, but you can throw a plan B in. I don't think there's anything wrong with having a plan B, and if PFOC can.
So what we're essentially talking about is that potentially come November, we could have a 10-goal Bundesliga striker sitting on the bench because he doesn't fit the system, and we're all okay with that.
I'm not with that. No.
And have Jesus Ferreira in there instead. Sorry, I that's a hard thing for me to justify. Now, do I understand the point? Absolutely, Felix. I totally see your point, and I think at the end of the day, Berhalter's going to pick a system. He's going to go with it, and Ferreira may just suit it better. But that's a hard pill to swallow to think that you could have 8, 9, 10 goal Bundesliga starter by November, not in your starting lineup for the U.S. men's national team.
I don't think there's anything wrong necessarily with having PFOC being a guy who, clears. I mean, I know you said making those runs in behind and clearing space for Becker, and you don't have.
Oh, you mean the verticality that Berhalter talks about?
Well, I don't even mean that necessarily. Like if Jordan PFOC occupying center backs, then that does create some space for other players to take advantage of. And I'm not saying you bring Jordan PFOC to be a decoy. I mean, I hope you can get him some service and he can score goals. And I like the idea of having a center forward who can go up and finish a ball with his head because he's just taller and bigger and jumps higher than everybody else. You don't have to be that, though. Raul Ruiz scored a goal with his head this weekend, and he's, 5'3"?
Why you gotta do that, dude? Why you gotta do that?
How did you let him do that? How about that, Jared? How do you let him do that?
I wasn't on that back line. I don't know what to tell you. Why did I let him do that?
Felix, anything else you want to share before we let you go?
Yeah, I think it just kind of go a little bit farther than Jared's point there. I think that idea, that he said, right, well, because he's theoretically has scored 10 goals by November, he needs to be starting. I don't know if that's the right indicator. I think it needs to be, how are we going to look best and be most dangerous as a team? Not necessarily just throwing out an all-star team or a best 11. Right, because I think throughout the history of soccer, there's been a lot of players who look really good with their club team, and they throw them on the national team. Like, oh, he doesn't look as good. That's a conversation it always seems to be having, because we know full well different teams play different. And that's just kind of the case. That's just the way it is. I think, and that we're deep enough that we can even have this conversation that a player who's just doing this well for Union Berlin, he might not be starting for us. I think that's a very valid thing. And to touch on the Josh Sargent thing, I've been very cynical about Josh Sargent, like Jared has. I thought people talking about Josh Sargent, I'm like, why are we talking about this guy? He's absolutely terrible. He's playing terrible. Let's say it like that. He's
more
playing
like Josh
terrible.
Corporal, am I right?
He shouldn't even be like, just wash his name out of your mouth. Like, we shouldn't even be talking about him. But if he keeps up this form, he is the kind of player who I think you could be talking about as a starter, not because of the league he's doing it in, because if he's scoring and he does all the off the ball stuff that kind of Greg's system requires, that's someone who I think theoretically could push Ferreira out.
Look, I don't want to be completely reductive here. Appreciate the call, Felix. I don't want to be completely reductive here, Jared. But if you are asking your team to press as a part of your approach to winning soccer games, then you can choose not to press, right? Maybe you don't press England because if they play through you, you're in danger or something like that. But if you are asking your team to press, you cannot press with Jordan PFOC. If you want to pressing from your center forward. No, but I'm not sure if we can
score with any other forward.
Okay. If Josh Sargent is scoring goals in the championship and he can press and he does the off the ball stuff and he can play back to goal, I'm saying that he has a bigger set of skills.
I kind of want to dump a big fat ice bucket on this. The guy hasn't scored goals in 2 years.
He's scoring now. Why does it matter?
He had 2 good games.
You want third division Germany Terrence Boyd? And
no, I don't.
You
I was
did.
always making a point to you. You know, I was always making a point.
You brought him up. I didn't bring him up.
No, you did
just
bring
like-
him up today. If you were back the
you just
clock,
like
you
the
realize you brought him
tattoo.
up.
No, I didn't
So-
bring him up. I didn't bring him up. No.
You're so full of crap. All right, so but my thing about Josh Sargent is that everyone, if I'd asked you 3 weeks ago, does Josh Sargent have a part in this team? What would you have said?
I would have probably said no.
If I'd asked you a year ago, what would you have said?
But no. But
If I'd
you're
asked you a
the
year and a half
guy-
ago, what would you have said?
Okay, no, but doesn't matter.
All
You're
I'm
the
saying is
guy
that
who
he
talks
may be
about
the guy in
scoring
November.
Goals.
He may be the guy in November. I'm just saying, I'm asking people to just not put him into the lineup just because he had 2 good games and just see what he does over the
but-
next
okay,
month.
and this is a
He's
good
doing
point.
everything he could be doing right now.
Soda, this is a good point. All right. Now, again, maybe you hold this against him because what? You can't just imagine he would have done better necessarily, but he didn't get to play in his natural position for 2 years.
Not my fault. He chose wrong team to go to. That's not. Why should all of us be punished for that?
But hold on. But now he is playing.
So he's got
his
bad
natural
decision making
position.
on the field and
Hold
off
on.
of it
Oh my God! Now he is playing his natural position and he's thriving.
at a lower
Okay.
level.
Yes, but
Than the
still-
Bundesliga
Look,
or the
hold
Premier
on.
League where he played before.
Hold on. Okay, look, I'm not saying he's better than Jordan Pefok. I'm not making that argument. I'm just saying that you keep throwing out the level like that's it's an argument. The championship out of all the teams Americans play in is probably like fifth.
Yeah, I would rate
on that
it
list.
very similar to a striker that's doing well in MLS. To be honest with you, maybe
I would
slightly
have,
higher.
No. Yeah, I would give more. Yes, Josh Sargent's goals to me are more valuable in the championship than Jesus Ferreira's goals in Major League Soccer.
We've
But
got a
hold on.
14 goal scorer in Brendan Vasquez in MLS. That to
Okay,
me right now means
sure.
more to me than 2 goals in Josh Sargent.
Even though Josh Sargent is a guy that Berhalter knows and has some familiarity with and understands the system, whereas Brandon Vasquez has literally never been.
I'm
on the team.
basing it more on the fact that Brandon Vasquez has been good for a year, and Josh Sargent's been good for 2 games. Do you realize that? That's all we're talking. I'm not saying he can't be the guy. All I'm saying is that the guy had 2 good games in 2 years.
Yeah. By the way, this was an exaggeration
3
to
games.
make
He had
a
1
point
good
to
game
Jared.
last season in the Prem.
If I really thought about it, we have Americans in the Premier League, we have Americans in the Bundesliga, we have American in Serie A, we have an American in France, right? Spain, we have Americans in Spain. So that's the top 5. The championship might be 6 then, right? I mean, I don't know where you rake. What other leagues do Americans play in?
Eredivisie.
That's not higher than the championship. Not week to week for me.
Offensively, it is.
You mean there are more goals in the Eredivisie and the championship?
I think that if you're an offensive player, you should go to Eredivisie because you get to score
Sure,
goals.
but if you are scoring goals in the championship
And
in a
the
physical,
championship is
tough
just-
league,
okay,
that
wait, hold
goes-
on. You watched the DK games at Brentford, right? You realize how nasty
not-
those were, right? Like it was just like people fouling each other and kicking the ball 50 yards up the field.
harder
all
to
game.
score goals. So give them more. That's what I'm telling you. The challenge is tougher in the championship than it
I'm
is
saying
in the
the
Eredivisie.
quality is at the top of the championship. The quality at the bottom of the championship is very different.
Okay, but that's true of it. That's true of like every league in Europe. What are you saying?
All I'm saying right now is I'm not sure which 2 teams Sargent's played so far.
Oh man,
We're 2 weeks into
Okay.
the dang season. He could be playing the bottom feeders of championship by the end of the season. I don't know
I
who
have
these goals are against.
No idea how we've already done 47 minutes. That's crazy.
You wanted to
me.
bring up Josh Corporal. I don't know what to tell you.
You were not here last week, Mr. Soup and Sausage. I'm going to ask you to. Do we still have the jersey leaks for Mr. Dubois? Now, here's the thing
got my
about this.
eyes.
Jared probably can't tell what color the one on the right is. So
Well, I know it's blue because we wouldn't be dressed in purple.
does
But
it look
those are
purple?
my
I don't-
two- those are my two
hold on.
options.
That's what's crazy to me about. And look, I'm not really picking on you. It's one of those things like.
Sure you're not.
No, I'm not. I'm asking you a question. Have you always
I'm
been
asking you a question. What
colorblind?
the fuck? Go ahead.
No, it's just like you don't know what you don't know, right?
I'll tell you right now. Here's how my color blindness works. For the record, for all of you, okay? If you put a color up, I could make it wrong pretty much any time. I can mess up any color most of the time. When you put 2 colors next to each other, I do better. So if you
Okay.
put blue and purple next to each other, I'll probably get them right. But if you put them up by themselves without a context of the other one next to it to get to like the reddish hue that purple has, I really, it's hard for me to discern. Same thing with
see.
green and brown. If you put them both up,
Okay, but
I'll
you
probably get
have
them
a
right.
concept of what those colors look like. It's just that your brain fails to differentiate.
This is where it gets hard because like if you put like hunter green up, I'm really gonna mess it up. If
Why?
you put like a fluorescent green up, it looks yellow to me. Shades are where things get really hard for me.
What color is this right here?
Well, it says green on the scarf, asshole.
It does say green. I'm just cursing up a storm. I mean, did I piss you off? What
You're
happened?
making fun of my handicap. If I was out here with a peg leg, we'd be saying, let's kick it.
I'm not making fun of it. I'm trying to understand it. I literally am trying to understand it. That's all. So
Making
both
pirate
of these are
jokes about
trash.
peg leg.
You don't need to be able to see colors to
No,
know that both of
listen,
these are
you don't
trash.
need colors to know this is bad. You just need to be able to see pattern to know. It looks like, honestly, my kid's about to turn 13. It looks like what his shirts is going to look like on the bottom of the closet in a couple weeks, man.
Oh,
like, it looks like someone turned a black light on in a teenager's
I
room.
can't-
That's what that shirt
you're
looks
on,
like.
This is gonna be. I do have like a rule. First of all, I lost half the drops, so I don't have anything else to go to. But I do have this rule that I don't play back-to-back J. Rodius drops unless it's egregious. That's pretty egregious. I can't believe
that looks like someone. It looks like a CSI crime scene. They turned on a black light.
Is there any chance, just to play devil's advocate a tiny bit, I don't think these are good, but any chance that either of them looks significantly better with a number on them?
I don't think so. I think the centralized crest is a bad idea. First of all,
I don't know why we're doing that either.
because first of all, what's one? Okay, and I'm gonna say some stuff out here right now. Like athletes, they're good-looking men, right? And
Sure,
what's an
Frank
attractive?
Ribery agrees with you. Absolutely, he does.
What is an attractive man, athletic man has as the defining thing under their shirts? The pecs, right? Like when you got that shield over there,
Where are
it
we
enhances and it brings the eye to the pec. It looks good. It looks good because the guy's muscle and toned. This is gonna hit right in between on a sternum. It looks weird. It's not right.
I
It's
don't
just-
know.
it's
I don't
just-
know if I agree with your style.
What's with the
analysis
shark
there,
tooth
but-
blueness on the white one right above the logo too? Why they got like some kind of weird shark tooth, the tribal tattoo thing going on above it?
This is what I couldn't tell. Now there is another. There's a video out there. I think it's a TikTok. There's a video. I found the shirt in Dick's, but I tried to buy it and they wouldn't let me. It was a mistake. Blah 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 blah. Maybe it's legitimate. Maybe it's 100% real. It looks long sleeved in that video, which I don't get. Like, why are they even putting that
guitar?
out there? And by the way, yeah, I don't know. By the way, Morgan has said these are definitely the shirts. These are 100%. She's got sources that say these are the 100% the shirts. I think everybody kind of expects these to land officially very soon. I'm not a person.
If you're Nike,
Listen,
why don't you when you do things like this? Why don't you just make 22 of them and put them in a friendly and see what the response is, and have another one as backup just in case? Don't
good
put them into
question.
production. Trial them.
the only good thing we have from this whole situation, the leak that everybody hates, is that people are putting out their fan-created looks, and almost universally the good ones have red and white stripes. Now, they don't all look like the
Imagine
Waldo,
that.
but the red and white stripe is a feature. I saw one today with like a sash that was made up of red and white stripes, which looked real. It was white, but with a sash that was made up of red and white stripes. That would look real good. I'm sure it violates some sort of FIFA rule that we don't understand because they have all kinds of weird stuff.
I'm colorblind. I hear we may have a caller in the line. Maybe he's not colorblind. Maybe he can give a better take on these jerseys tonight. Kevin.
Okay. I mean, Randall, do you know the difference between blue and purple? You're on the Best Soccer Show.
Yes, I do.
Well, congratulations.
Personally, I'm not the biggest fan. Clearly, the one on the right is blue and black, but it's also clearly tie-dye. I'm not the biggest fan of either.
But
I kind of miss
but real quick, it kind of looks like that dress that the internet freaked
Right.
out about like 45
is it
years
green
ago.
or is it blue or whatever?
The brown or blue dress or whatever that was. Yeah. Anyway, go ahead, Randall.
why is it like? I understand why they want to be able to go with something new for it, but this is the first World Cup we've had in 8 years. You can't give us standard red, white, and blue with stripes. Like, it shouldn't be this complicated.
Yeah, I don't know why we think we need a psychedelic jersey and the world's most boring jersey. It's like they want like here's your flashy one, and it's like they try to do a third kit as your second kit.
I want to know who is signing off. You know, like the Devil Wears Prada. Like when you have well, she's a magazine person, but anyway, you always have like people are like that one, not that one, that one, not that one, and they're like approving. Like you have to sign off on the proofs, otherwise we can't make the thing. Who's signing off on this shit? Like who's the
colorblind
person?
guy.
Who's like, you know what? These are great. Let's sign off on these. Let's get those into production
The crazy
right now,
thing is,
guys.
we know Nike can make a good kit. We've seen them. They make amazing kits for other teams.
Yeah, they have.
Why can't they make it for their home country decently. It's because we don't have, like, people say, well, there is no like iconic image of what the U.S. national team is, like the Brazil yellow
No,
or the
pick
orange.
one. That's because they haven't picked one.
Pick
That's it.
one.
Pick one.
Pick one.
By the way, the guys at For the Culture have their own red and white stripes. It's very cool because it's not just the Waldo look was straight. It kind of has some waves to the stripes. Really dug that one. If you can find that one on the internet, that's
Kind of
worth
like the
looking
waves
at.
behind our images right now in our best soccer show template back here.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of that.
It's almost
that
like we
shape
knew what
here.
was up.
Yeah, we absolutely knew what was up. Okay, all right. Thank you very much for that, Nicholas.
Well, okay,
Super
what
Sausage.
do the freaking shorts look like and the socks look like to go with a tie-dye shirt?
I'm gonna guess that's a.
boy.
Is it a? It can't be a white short situation, right? It has to be monochrome.
Okay, here's
doesn't
the
it?
only thing that can save that tie-dye shirt. If we find out it's hypercolor.
Sure. If it's hypercolor, yeah, let's do that. I'm 100% in if it's hypercolor. Sure.
Maybe when they sweat, it changes to something good looking.
Like suddenly the stripes come out and it changes colors completely.
Yes,
And
color
you're like
activated.
red. I know that's red. It looks red to me. That's how it
Anything
was
that's
gonna go
not
for
tie-dye, maybe.
you. I mean, I don't. Yeah, that's the other thing. Like blue, whatever. I'm over blue for the U.S. men's national team because red is so much more powerful.
Bloody.
Why do we keep going back to blue after we do some pretty decent red stuff? And now,
That
yeah.
reminds me.
Go ahead.
Speaking of the color red, you guys know if any of those rumors about why they've been so mundane and plain are actually true? Basically, they're not trying to make them seem too intimidating. I want to say is the word.
You mean like people
Or
won't
is
buy
it
them
just
if they're too
Twitter
crazy?
fodder?
Because
So they went
more
tie-dye?
stuff sells better. Maybe.
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 I'm not sure why. I can't give you a reason. I can't give you a reason why they can't make a good-looking jersey for the U.S. or why we can't have any kind of iconography. Is it maybe when you go to Qatar, if it's red, white, and blue, it's obvious that you're American. They don't want fans targeted because it's in the Middle East.
Targeted?
I don't
Wait,
know.
well, hold on.
Like,
I don't think
we're
I don't
American.
think you're
Own it.
I don't think your
I'm
geopolitics
trying to-
is very good.
What do you mean?
No, I mean I don't think that we're in a position where if you go to Qatar, you're targeted as an American. I'm just saying. I know we're not liked around the world and all that, but I'm sure. I don't think it's a go to Qatar and pretend you're Canadian situation.
So why don't you ask some of the supporters groups if they're getting extra security detail in Qatar or not?
Okay, maybe that's true. I don't think it's a hey, don't wear red, white, and blue because you'll look American and somebody will target you.
Okay,
If
you can't
go
wear a
to
rainbow
place-
shirt. Okay, so there's a lot of things you probably shouldn't do out there. I'm just saying there's a few things that might target people in out there.
Okay, all right. Randall, anything else before I let you go?
Just this. Like, we're Americans. Most of the planet has beef with us. Just own it. Like, just own it. Just walk in there and just own it. Like, we're
Dude,
Americans.
yeah. You know what?
Yeah.
What I say is that
Drop
you
a
put
red,
on,
white, and blue dookie in the middle of their floor.
put on a red, white, and blue shirt. Put on a shirt or Waldo stripes, stars and bars, denim kit, and do the Jesse Marsh thrust all over that place. Just do that. Spike the water bottle and do the Jesse Marsh. Right? That's what you should do.
The
right?
Jesse Marsh's new dance craze is taking over.
Sweeping the nation. The Jesse Marsh is
Do
taking
the
over.
Marsh. The Jesse Marsh.
Is there anybody else that is of note right now for Americans abroad? Guys that, again, Chris Richards gets mop-up minutes for Crystal Palace
I'd like to see a
again.
little more minutes there than that.
I mean, we've already had Felix say
honestly,
center back's
this
an
is a
issue.
tough thing for me to talk about because
Alec Tillman.
Similar to Josh Sargent, Tim Ream needs to be talked about. I'm sorry. Tim Ream needs to be talked about.
Needs to be talked about.
He is the second best performing center back in Europe right now for Americans.
He is.
He's the best performing in Europe because obviously Zimmerman's
Oh,
here.
yeah.
He's the best performing center back in Europe. Now the same thing is this is the PFOC Ferreira debate on the other side of the ball. Because can Tim Ream play in a high line that Berhalter was playing? So you have the best performing center back in Europe.
No.
Just like John Brooks.
No.
So our potentially two best center backs can't be considered for our national team.
I don't think John Brooks is necessarily one of the two best center backs, but I think he's in the conversation of, top 3 or 4, so he would be there if you're just taking based on pure ability and talent and experience and whatever. Tim Ream was in that conversation too, but I don't think either one of them fits what the U.S. wants to do at the World Cup, and neither one of them will be at the World Cup with the U.S. men's national team.
I
That
know
is
people
my
saying
opinion.
Tim Ream's too slow, and I don't disagree. But the guy's getting done not only last year in the championship, but this year in the Premier League.
So
far
so
for the
again,
first few games.
Okay, if you're talking about, hey, bring Tim Ream because we're going to put 9 behind the ball, 10 behind the ball, up a goal in the 75th minute against anybody, I guess maybe that's the way the argument would go.
People are saying in
the-
here that Ream is too slow, Zimmerman is too slow. But why can't Ream be the backup for Zimmerman?
He
Who's
could
saying
be.
to start him-
We're not
who's
talking
saying
about
to
playing
start
them
them both?
together.
Yeah.
No, you don't play them
I'm
together.
talking about him being in the national team conversation because
Yeah.
Chris Richards isn't necessarily playing. I still think Chris Richards is probably the number one candidate to be next to Walker Zimmerman. Miles, wow. Why am I want to see Miles Davis so bad right now. Miles
So I'm
Robinson.
going to let you twist. Yeah,
Miles
go ahead.
Robinson is back training with Atlanta. Any chance you think he's fit?
I did not know he
By the
was
day.
back training.
Some training, yes.
Some training.
Some training.
It's August 21st, and we are 3 months out. Ooh,
And Chris
that's
Richards isn't
interesting.
starting. John Brooks isn't an option.
Oh, that's interesting. I did
James
not know
Sands
that.
is playing in Scotland.
He is.
Hold
Hold on.
Vickers is playing in Scotland.
Whoa, are you saying something about Scotland? Are you saying
I'm just
something
saying
bad about
that
Scotland?
Tim Ream's playing in the Premiership against Liverpool.
He is doing that.
Tim Ream's
Yeah.
playing Iberian.
Is it Hibernian?
Whatever the hell they're called.
Hyperion. Hyperspace. No. I understand the level. So James Sands also playing in the Champions League, right? That's something Rangers has going on. It's part of the reason why Malik Tillman is getting so much attention right now as a guy who can play in a couple different spots, right?
Yeah.
What does Berhalter imagine Malik Tillman to be is a question. I think
'cause
that's
I
interesting.
played him in midfield and far and a wide striker the two times that he featured him.
It's
in
such
short
a
minutes.
small sample size. It's really tough
Yeah.
to know. Yeah, I don't think that's. I think James Sands is a more likely candidate to go to the World Cup than Tim Ream, and that's
'Cause of the
not
midfield
based.
cover?
That's the midfield cover, the athleticism, and the age. And I just think that Tim Ream, as great as he's been, and I respect the hell out of it. Even when people were taking dumps on Tim Ream, I
loved
respected
him.
everything the guy was doing at Fulham. But he's not a World Cup player right now for the U.S.
A
men's national team.
Remiac. That's what you
He's
were.
not.
A Remiac.
I'm not sure about that one. Let's try again. Remiac?
A Reamer?
No, that's definitely not it. That's not the one. Let's keep any more.
I don't know. You did
a-
a mean Ream job?
No. That's I'm not doing it. I just respect the guy. That's it.
Do you want one more
Reamster?
caller before we get out of here?
Reamster? Yeah, it's our man Wes from Idaho.
Oh, the man with an amazing beard?
the best beard in the game. What's up, Wes?
Yeah, that's me.
You didn't shave it, did you?
Hey, it's been a while. Sorry, guys. I have
Okay.
not. Heck no.
Well, it's summertime. You know, it gets
That's
hot.
against my religion.
Oh,
That's
real
it.
quick, since we're on shaving, my 14-year-old ended up with a couple of little chin hairs, little mustache,
Oh, watch out now.
and he was like, I don't want it anymore. And I was like, okay, let's go shave. Let's did the dad thing, and I taught him how to shave a little bit, and then he's like, when's the last time you shaved? And I was like, I don't remember, but people don't like me when I shave, so I'm not. Do not shave the beard, Wes. You know this already. You will be a different
Wait,
person. And
are-
people will
I
reject you.
can't, man.
Are
Yeah.
his beard hairs red?
I look like
Okay, just wondering.
They
My
are,
kid's got
yeah.
very well, no, not you, Wes. My kid's got very dark hair.
oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, dude, if I shave, I look like a super overweight 14-year-old. I ain't gonna do that shit. I know where I'm at.
Stay in your lane, Wes.
What you got?
Yeah, I know. I know where I'm at. So I came in a little bit late, but I heard you guys talk about Peacock and Sargent and Ferreira, and I think Peacock is killing it. I think Jared's right, dude. We gotta just wait and see on Sargent. Great 2 games, but can he keep doing it? That's the only
okay.
thing.
All
Even
right.
if he keeps doing it, those are probably
Great.
the 3 we bring. But if he can't, then we got to figure it out. That's how I feel.
Wait, hold on. We got to
And then
figure
the
it out by
jersey
going. Hold on,
can-
Wes. We got to figure it out by giving the job
Yeah,
to
yeah,
who?
yeah.
Who gets the job? If Josh Sargent scores like one more goal between now and October, when the roster gets set, who are you calling? Brandon Vasquez
Maybe.
from FC Cincinnati? Is that
You're
what
asking an
doing?
unfair question because we're going to have 2 more games to look at players between now and then.
Oh, two more
Yeah,
games.
I don't-
Two more
it's
internationals. Okay. All right. Go ahead, Wes.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. who else we bring. We'll have to see. But right now, those are
Josie.
the three that I would be looking at the most, especially P-Fox. Man, he keeps tearing it up. My goodness.
He looks the real
He's got to
deal.
be a starter, in my opinion. And the only other thing I wanted to call about is, look, man, we had the iconic jerseys with the Waldo. We could have been the Croatia with the checkered marks. And we can do variations, but, man, like Nike, it's not that hard. It's not that hard. Why do they make it so difficult?
Yeah,
Do not know.
I don't get it. Is
That's
it?
all I wanted.
I thought in the past, is it that if Nike now Brazil, England, Netherlands, even Croatia, they all predated when sports manufacturers kind of trademarked and owned the looks. Is the thing now that if we make something iconic, Nike owns it and it can't be translated to Adidas later on or something like that?
That's a good question. I don't know, but I do think it's possible that Nike and U.S. Soccer think of this as, well, you know, no matter what Argentina does with the stripes, people will buy it. No matter what the Netherlands does with the orange, people will buy it. No matter what, you know, these iconic looks. Mexico puts green on a jersey, people buy it. Doesn't matter how bad it is. For reasons I won't get into, I own a Mexico jersey from 2018. It's trash. It's just green. It's not special. It's just a green jersey.
it says
But
Mexico
people
on it.
buy it because it's Mexico and it's green. So maybe this is a matter of we don't have a look that guarantees sales because it goes back 70 or 80 or 100 years the way some of these nations do. And therefore, we can't lock something in.
That's a good point. And the one big question I had about that guy that did the video, why on earth would you try to buy that piece of trash of a kit? Even if it's up for sale. There's no way I'm buying that.
For the
a
whole
good
reason to do
question.
it right now, because they can show it off and show that they got it first and what it looks like. I think that's
It's clout. It's all for clout, man.
Maybe, but
Yeah.
but if we want an iconic jersey, no one should buy that. No one should buy that jersey, and it would send a message to freaking Nike and U.S. Soccer, be like, we can't just put a freaking template from a training kit and put the U.S. badge on it and be like, yeah, we're going to sell millions of these. Nah, let's. No one should buy that thing.
Yeah, I don't know.
opinion.
I don't know what the reasons are. Maybe some. I mean, maybe we should ask. We should hold Cindy Parlocone's feet to the fire. We won't reelect you. I mean, not that I'm voting, but we won't reelect you, U.S. Soccer president, which she just got elected again, right? Unless you fix this jersey situation. I don't know. And anything else, Wes?
No, that's it, guys. Thanks. Keep up the good
All right, man.
work. I'll
right.
watch you next week.
Take care.
Right on,
Thank
Wes.
you, man. There goes Wes. All right, we do have time for one more. You want to squeeze in one more? I like late callers.
All right, let's do it.
All right, let's do Trev from Boston. I want to make sure I get this right. Trev, what's up?
Hey, fellas, how you doing?
What the heck's that accent?
We've got a Leeds fan, an
Hey,
actual
I'm-
live Leeds fan on the show.
I'm sorry it says soccer in our name of our show.
No, we're not apologizing for
You know
soccer.
what?
Jesse Marsh is dropping it. It's okay. Go ahead, Trev.
It's all good. It's all good, guys. You're doing a great job. Listen,
feel intimidated.
I live near Boston. I'm from England. You may have learned I haven't got the accent from New England. I've got the old England accent.
Old
It's all
England,
good.
yeah.
Yeah, Old England. Yes, the original,
Exactly.
the OG.
But I was curious, right? You saw this game today, right? You saw Aaronson and Tyler Adams. My personal opinion, Tyler Adams was man of the match today.
Agreed.
What he did, how he destroyed Chelsea's midfield today. I'm curious for your thoughts. Right, Pulisic is the poster child of US soccer, but Aaronson is getting it done. Adams feels like the Conte of the US national team. Like, how do you see with Jesse Marsh? How do you see the US football team evolving? Do you see Pulisic still being the poster child, or do you see Aaronson taking over that role?
It's an interesting thing. I'm gonna let you go so we can talk about this with as we finish out
Yeah,
here.
thanks for
Jared.
coming,
I think it's interesting because I think it's because of the way Pulisic. First of all, he was first, right? He broke through as a teenager at a Champions League level club in Germany. He was a new breed, right? He was a unicorn.
Yeah.
We had never had an American player like that. We had some players kind of flirt with that a little bit, but not do what he did. So he was first, which is a big thing here, but I don't think it's the way he plays. Right? He beats players off the dribble. He scores goals in ways that are...
Yeah, but you're not doing that if you're on the bench.
No, I'm not talking about his current situation. I'm
Okay.
talking about why he is the poster boy, right? Because he got a lot of love.
I'll go beyond
initially.
that. It's also because he has a Champions League medal. That's another part of it as well.
No, but he was the golden boy before he won the Champions League.
True.
medal. He was
but that's
already
what
sort
really
of-
pushed him in a different echelon than everyone else that's out there right now, too, is that he's had success that other Americans haven't had.
No, and you can't take that away from him, right? He
No.
scored a goal. He scored incredibly important goals for Chelsea in the Champions League. He had, he's done things at that level that Americans hadn't done before. So Brenden Aaronson just arrived. He's played 3 games. He scored 1 goal via pressuring Mendy into a mistake, right? And he's done a lot of very good other things. But until he scores the goal that on SportsCenter, that just wasn't about hustle. That was about skill. Because what Americans are looking for from the American poster child of American soccer, it's a guy who can play on the skill level with the best players in the world, not just the effort level.
That's a knife that cuts you both ways, though, because every time you lose the ball when your dribble doesn't come off, that's
it does. But that's not what SportsCenter is good. So Christian Pulisic could dribble into a cul-de-sac 12 times, but if he beats 3 guys and scores 1 goal, he's still the poster child. He's still the golden boy because he did that one thing. Brenden Aaronson can have an effective 90 minutes, press, create turnovers, play the pass that leads to the goal, maybe even score a goal via effort like he did today, and people will still hold Pulisic up above him. I'm not saying it's right. I'm telling you that's the way it is.
I don't know that would necessarily be true in the long term, because I think that every English sports fan can respect what Brenden Aaronson's doing on the field, whether he's on the score sheet or not, and that could. N'Golo Kanté, do you think he's more?
What are we talking about
real
here?
quick. Do you think N'Golo Kanté is considered a better soccer player than Christian Pulisic, or a worse soccer player than Christian Pulisic? By average English.
Better soccer. No, but I'm talking about. Why are we talking about English fans? Why do we care about English fans?
Because
that's
Americans. I thought that's what Trev's question was.
No, he said, "Why is Pulisic the golden boy of American soccer? Shouldn't Aaronson be that
why
guy?"
He's getting the guy. Okay. Well, even in American soccer, I think at some point Americans will understand if the guy's not playing, that's a problem. Now, granted, that's right now.
Eventually, that will catch up to Pulisic, but he's going to go to the World Cup as the guy that gets the most profile pieces on television. That's going to happen.
Yeah, right now, the only person that's close to him in passing would be someone like Weston McKennie, who has got more personality.
Right.
That's the thing Christian Pulisic does not have working for him, is that he has zero personality.
But this is exactly it. Aaronson doesn't have the technical skill that Christian has. People forget how good he was post-lockdown. I'm not, and that's the thing, effective. Like if I'm a coach and I play anything like Jesse Marsh plays, I want Brenden Aaronson on my team rather than Christian Pulisic. I'm not arguing that. I'm not arguing the effectiveness of Aaronson when deployed properly. I'm simply saying that the flash that Pulisic has is what gets him the headlines and the attention. And you and I and English football fans, certainly at Leeds, will appreciate what Tyler Adams does, what Brenden Aaronson does. But if we're talking about the American casual soccer or not even soccer audience, the sports fan audience that pays attention to the World Cup once, that's it. That's all they care about. Pulisic gets the attention because Pulisic can score a spectacular goal.
Brenden Aaronson's jersey isn't on Pawn Stars and being called the LeBron James of American soccer.
Exactly right.
There's a ways to go. That being said, I think there's players out there that could unseat him fairly in the near future. If Gio Reyna ever gets healthy and makes a move to Real Madrid or something like that's been talked about, I think that guy could definitely eclipse Christian Pulisic. I think Brenden Aaronson one day could eclipse Pulisic because he hasn't had the injuries that Pulisic has had as well. And obviously, I don't know. I think there's other guys out there that can do it. Right now, Pulisic's head and tails above everyone else, and it's going to be that way for a while, at least through this World Cup.
I do think
there's other guys out there that could do it.
I do think it's. I made this joke on Twitter earlier. I said that if Brenden Aaronson keeps this up, by the time he leaves Leeds, John is going to be in every Yorkshire dialect. It's going to be a critical part of the Yorkshire dialect. Do you know the word John? Do you know about John?
Yeah, one of the apostles.
That's funny coming from you.
Oh no! You mean the who a prostitute hooks up with?
No, not that one either. Not Dear John. Not the what they call the guy who solicits a prostitute.
All right,
I don't even know. I can't do it properly because I don't have a Philly accent. This is why it's disappointing that Morgan's not here tonight, because she could explain to you this whole John thing, which is basically it's kind of like the catch-all word for something.
It's like that dude in California.
Kind of, yeah. I guess it's kind of like that. Yeah, you know how? It's not like that. It's
Use
a
it in a
noun.
sentence.
It's a noun. It's a noun. Well, that John was really tasty, or that John, nearly messed up my day, or
I've
that
never called John tasty.
But I can't do the accent, so I can't say it right. Somebody from Philly is going to get it, fix that for us. All right.
I'll take your word for it. I don't
Any
know
other
Philly
business,
stuff.
Mr. Dubois, before we pass out? Any other business?
I don't think so. I mean, are we going to watch Game of Thrones tonight? Are we interested in that?
So you're 3 hours behind. I'm going to have to go watch on HBO Max as soon as it's available, I'm guessing. Because I don't...
Yeah.
The live debut... What is it called? Game of Dragons? Throne of Dragons? House of Dragons?
Couldn't tell you.
Dragon Age? Is that how far out on Game of Thrones stuff we are?
I don't know. Here's how it's going to go down for me. I'm going to wait till someone I respect watches it and tells me if it's good or not. Then I'll decide when I want to put my time into it.
Man, but we made so much... We spent so much time on this show.
I want it to be good because I love it. I mean, are we going to play Boobs or Death?
I don't know if we're playing Boobs or Death. I don't know if this is
we
an
can
era.
play with this one. We
know
can't
if
play
this is
Boobs
an
or
era.
Death in 2022.
No. I'm sure we could.
The era of Westeros.
I'm not sure the show is going to lean.
They didn't like
heavily
boobs then in the prequels.
into the Boobs or Death situation.
For people that are new listeners, what is Boobs or Death?
Back when Game of Thrones was on the air and we were doing the Best Soccer Show, and we would talk about Game of Thrones every Sunday or whatever we were doing the show, Jared would say, "What do you think's going to happen first? We'll see boobs or someone will die on the next episode of Game of Thrones."
It was amazing how much of a toss-up it was every week.
Every week it was like, don't know which one's going to happen.
Boobs or death. Boobs or
Somebody
death.
gets stabbed, death. Some prostitute scene, boobs.
Was that
That's
actually on
just the way
Slop
it
Culture when we started that? Or was that on Best Soccer Show when we started
No, it was
that?
on the Best Soccer Show. It
It was?
definitely was
Okay.
a Best Soccer Show feature, 100%. Yeah.
All right,
Okay.
well, we have to watch the first one just to play Boobs or Death.
All right, so we are going to get out of here. If you want extra stuff from us, you can go to patreon.com/thebestsoccershow, get bonus content. We're picking up some speed. I'm going to drag Jared into some extra stuff if I can very shortly, so get ready for that. What else? There's the community, the Slack, where the besties hang out. All kinds of incredible stuff happening over there. It's just fun. It's a fun place to be. If you're one of those people who stays away from Twitter because it's toxic and weird and people are mean all the time, if you don't like Instagram because of the pictures or whatever they did to it, I don't even know, this is a good place. There's a community of people who think like you, who like soccer, and will like your jokes. So there you go. Anything else, Mr. Dubois?
I think that's it, man. We got to cover.
All right, we're going to get out of here. We'll talk to you guys next time. Thank you very much for listening. And make sure you push that like button and subscribe to us.
Yeah, do
we
those
don't
things.
push that enough. Do that, please. And we'll talk to you soon. Bye.
What are we doing?
Danger Zone!
A-Ron.
WNBC. WNBC.
Michael freaking horoscope the scout.
Go to DEF CON 2.
Get to the chopper!
The Sausage King of Chicago.
Oh, it's incredible!
Jay Rodius.